Welcome back to Third Shot Podcast. It's Uncle Greg and Brigie, and we've got another great episode in store for you. But before we jump into it, please head on over to our social media, Instagram and Facebook at Third Shot Podcast, or on X at Third Shot Pod. You can also watch all of our episodes on YouTube. I've got a twitchy eye, so pay no attention to that, and I hope it doesn't come through too much caffeine or something, but we're pushing through. Did
No,
you
the
notice
twitchy
it,
eye.
Uncle?
I did not notice the twitchy
Oh, good,
eye.
good, good.
I thought you were just giving me kind of the
The signal.
side eye, like giving me signals. Okay, your turn to talk. One of those things. Well, let's cheers to third
Yes.
shot and getting rid of the twitchy eye.
Here we go.
Here
Cheers.
we go.
Maybe this will rehydrate
You
me
just
or
you just
something.
need some alcohol and that'll get rid of the twitchy eye, or it'll make both eyes twitch and then you'll match.
Yeah,
How have you
that'd be
been
funny. It
besides the
reminds
twitchy
me.
eye?
Oh, I'm doing well. Trying to build our social media up and building up the Instagram followers and everything and checking that daily. And while I was on it, I did see something pretty cool that is here local in Las Vegas.
Okay, what's up?
So there is a post on the pickleball clinic. So shout out to their Instagram.
Woo!
Um, and they were mentioning that Las Vegas is spending or is going to spend $400,000 on each pickleball court. It mentions that Sin City is becoming a massive pickleball hub, which we love to hear that. And we have a project called the Bunker Park Project, which will have 30 courts. That's what they're planning. And each court is estimating around $400,000 each, which is crazy. And then you read into the caption of their post, and it says that other places in other cities, pickleball courts tend to average between 20,000 and 50,000 per court.
Wait a second. Other outdoor courts average between 20 and 50, you said?
Yes. And
And these are
we
gonna
in
be
Vegas,
400,000.
yes.
1,000.
Yep.
What? So I just did the math. I had to pull out my calculator as you're telling the story here. That's gonna come out to $12 million to build 30 courts.
That's what it's sounding like from this post. I don't have any other sources on this, but that is what they're estimating for this
And
project.
and the city of Las Vegas is supposedly paying for this?
It doesn't say who's funding it, but it does say that it's a bunker park, which I would assume City of Las Vegas or um, Parks and Rec,
Right.
Clark County Parks and Rec, which is our county.
Uh-huh. Wow. Well, I love the fact that there's so much demand that we need 30 courts, 30 more courts in
Right.
Las Vegas. So beautiful. Love that. I can't believe the amount of $400,000 per court when at the most other places are doing it at 50,000. We're talking 8 times the cost per court.
Right. It's significantly greater. And my mind goes to like trying to come up with reasons on maybe why it would cost that much.
Mhm.
And I was kind of thinking maybe because our ground here is incredibly hard. And so if you are just going out in the desert and planning to put in a park, it's going to cost a lot of money to make the ground, usable, I would imagine. I'm not in construction, so I don't really know. But that's kind of what I was thinking was that maybe it's the whole project costs 12 million and it's not just per court. It's like you're putting in bathrooms, you're paving, you have to resurface the courts because the weather out here is so extreme. You've got to put in fencing. So I don't know if they just divided that number amongst 30 courts and that's what you're getting the 400,000.
So this is actually at Bunker Park. So there's a park already there.
No, I think they're making it a Like,
Oh,
I
they're
think
calling
making
it
it like a
Bunker Park
sports, yeah, I think they're making it a sports complex. Let me do a quick Google search of Bunker Park
because I was thinking if
project.
it is already a park, then there should be well, it should be some grass, right? Or they should have some bathroom or something there already, but that's just astronomical, and I can't believe that the city is actually ponying up $12 million for this in Parks and Recs. Now, I know there's tremendous demand, and it would make the people in the area super happy. Like, the pickleballers of Vegas are gonna be super happy if this happens, but I just can't imagine if anybody's getting taxed for this, there's gonna be some type of delay in this,
Right.
right? There's no way people are gonna say, "You're paying" all the non-pickleballers out there, there's no
Right.
way they're kicking in for a $12 million worth of pickleball courts.
Yeah. Well, this just in through Google AI, the Bunker Park already exists. You are correct. And it's a regional pickleball complex at this park that already exists. Google AI is saying 25 new pickleball courts. So that increases the price per court significantly. And it's funded by the Bureau of Land Management, BLM grant, not city funds.
Okay. Okay, well, that's
So
good.
taxpayer money, I don't think, right?
Right. Good.
Otherwise, that would be the city. And
Right.
it's going to have shade structures, restrooms, concessions, and two courts with grandstand seating for tournament play. So there's a little bit more going into this than just your recreational courts that you find at your neighborhood park.
Well, it sounds beautiful. I hope it happens. I mean, I really do. That would be fantastic for pickleballers in Vegas. And for people that are just visiting Vegas, that'd be so fun to go play there. I mean, Central Park in New York built all those courts where the ice rink is during the winter time. They put pickleball in during the summertime, and it's a huge tourist attraction. People are flocking there. They're paying astronomical fees. I want to say, well, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I want to say it was $80 an hour for the courts at Central Park, but I could be off on that, but I for some reason that number pops in my head. Anyway, people are paying to play at Central Park. I don't think Bunker Park is going to charge people to play there. Anyway, I hope it happens. It just sounds like a crazy amount of money.
Yes, but with 12 million, I feel like you can do it right. Like,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see the finished project and what actually is going to be put in and what they have to offer.
yeah, yeah. I hear there's something. Our friend Diadem Kev over there in
Yeah,
Florida. I heard that they're putting in a pretty massive facility as well with a stadium courts and, a lot of outdoor courts as well and a lot of facilities around it. So that's gonna happen over on the East Coast, and then this will kinda be not quite on the West Coast, but western part of the United States, something similar. So go pickleball. Love it.
it's just growing, keeps growing.
Right. The growth of the game keeps happening. I hope very, very soon you and I will be making an announcement about contributing to the growth of pickleball.
Yes, I'm excited for that and keeping my fingers crossed that it'll be very soon.
Teaser, teaser, everybody. Keep your ears out. We may have an announcement at some point very soon about Bridgie and I expanding the community of pickleball somehow, some way.
Yep,
We'll
it's
leave
gotta
it out there.
start.
We'll leave it out there. So, at this Bunker Park, I just wonder I'm guessing they're probably gonna have leagues and stuff. There's gonna be a whole bunch tournaments because they're putting the stadium court in there, right? Oh,
Yep.
this could be really, really cool if they're
Yeah,
running leagues out of there and tournaments out of there because, right now there's really only there's really only 2 outdoor facilities that can handle a lot of tournament, like a lot of players in a tournament,
right.
right? There's Sunset and then the Darling Tennis Center where they did the PPA event. And then you gotta go into, like, the casinos, like Fountain Blue had their indoor, in one of their huge ballrooms, I think they have 30 courts in just outrageous to me. 30 courts inside of a casino. That's wild, but I think they had that.
Vegas style.
It is they say everything's bigger in Texas. I think everything's bigger in Vegas, including the price tag for pickleball courts. But
No kidding.
so if you got to play in a tournament, would you rather play in a team tournament, 2 guys, 2 girls, like MLP style, or would you rather just play doubles with Uncle Greg, or what would you prefer, team or more individual and doubles?
Well, I always love me some doubles with Uncle Greg. Um, but I grew up playing team sports. So I'm torn. I've
Mhm.
never participated in a team pickleball competition, but I kind of lean towards wanting to be on a pickleball team and competing in a tournament because I just feel like that's a part of sports is being a part of a larger team and contributing and the camaraderie. And so I would be really, really interested in playing in one of those types of tournaments.
Well, I have a solution for you.
Tell me.
We can still play together as the mixed doubles team and the team, and we get Kayla and Pickle or Die Greg, who played with us or against us at the PPA
Yes.
tournament, and we just all team up. That'll be our
Dominate.
team.
Yeah. Team Greg. We should, Kayla and I will just change our name to Greg as well. So we can be Team Greg.
It's 4 Gs, right?
Yeah. 4G.
We're just gonna be 4G, super fast. I like it. So that'll be the solution, okay. So
Yeah.
when Bunker Park opens, the 4 of us, we're gonna go in. We're gonna form a team.
Yes. Yep. I
I
can't
get
wait.
I can't either. And the fun thing is I love the team thing too. So, I've had an opportunity to obviously play tournaments with just you and me and different partners, and then I've had an opportunity to play in the team things. I think I like the team things better.
Yeah.
Where you get to stand there, you get to root on your teammates and, just get into it.
Yeah.
You
And
come off the
also,
court, you're high-fiving everybody.
you have other
Mhm.
people to help pick up the slack. So, like, if one person is having an off game, like, it's not the end of the competition because of it. So
Right.
that I just feel like it kind of also increases your chances of winning if you've got a team behind you. The
Are you
support, you know?
Are you telling me when we played together, I messed up and I cost us the medal? Yeah, I
Heck no,
agree.
I'm the
I
weak
agree. I
link.
agree. I agree. Well, what's interesting about the topic is that we have somebody that is coming on that is throwing these amazing tournaments between different clubs. Michelle from Club Wars Pickleball is joining us, and she's got a really unique format that she puts together between clubs. So we are going to be bringing Michelle in, and while we do that, it gives everybody an opportunity to go on to YouTube and subscribe. We need subscribers. We love subscribers. We love the comments. Go on to our social media, please. Instagram, Facebook, X. Look up Third Shot Podcast. Unless you're on X, then Third Shot Pod. And then go on to the podcast platforms and listen to the show where you can hear Michelle from Club Wars Pickleball. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to Third Shot Podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. We're really excited to hear more about what you have going on with Club Wars. But before we get into those details, we're going to do a quick toast to you and all of the great things you're doing for the pickleball community with Club Wars Pickleball.
Cheers to
Cheers.
Club Wars.
Cheers.
So we've
I
got to
love that.
start with how did you get started with pickleball? How far back does it go? And what is your history and involvement with it?
Well, I started way back in 2014, actually. So we're going on 11 years. And it was because we knew we were going to be moving. And I said to my husband, I need a way to meet people. And he said, what about pickleball? And I'm like, what the heck is pickleball? So we jumped on YouTube and he showed me, and I said, okay, that looks like fun. So I, did another Google search where to find pickleball in my area and found a class and started taking lessons. It was just like an intro class, and it was actually, now you do an intro class, it's usually a couple hours. No, this was several weeks.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
Yeah, it
Intensive.
was. It was pretty cool. And at the time, so I was in upstate New York at the time. I'm in Georgia now. So I'm in upstate New York, and we played on a gym floor because it's cold up there most of the year, and we had the 9 million lines going on. This green line is this blue line is that, back, we're talking old school here. And with jugs pickleballs, if anybody's heard of those, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
um, and I think we even had wooden paddles back then, for this class. Everything was very old school. So anyway, took my class and then started jumping in an open play, which was only twice a week, which was not enough, as everybody knows. 2 days a week is not enough pickleball. And then it was 3 days, and then it was 4 days, and then before long it was 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. So that is how I got going. I played up there for a couple years before we moved to Georgia. Yeah, so got more and more hooked.
So as you got more and more hooked and you moved to Georgia, what was the pickleball difference between New York and Georgia?
Yeah, that's interesting. So one of my main criteria, because I had fallen in love with this sport, like most people that play it, one of the criteria for where we moved was there's got to be pickleball. And, of course, I Google where to play pickleball in, Georgia, and found some locations that supposedly have pickleball. And I was like, okay, we can go there. So we moved, and I couldn't find the pickleball. It was hard to find. And I finally found some. It was about 45 minutes from my house in intense traffic, which I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
So I would be driving all over the place to find pickleball. And the skill level actually was not nearly as high as the Rochester area, which was interesting.
Hmm.
Now I would say it's caught up, if not surpassed, because we, are typically outdoors on a regular basis. And of course, there's more and more pickleball venues being opened up. So I have a feeling that it's going to even out across the country, So even in the Rochester area where I'm from, they now have indoor pickleball venues with the standard floors. So yeah,
You
when
know,
I got
before
to go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just saying
No
that
worries.
when Bridgie and I were doing our little conversation earlier, we talked about the courts that they have at Central Park now, and I was just
Oh,
curious
yes.
whether you've tried those out.
So I was from Rochester, New York, which is a good
Way
6
up.
hours from New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were closer to Canada than we were to New York
Yeah.
City. People think New York, they think New York City. No, we were out in farm country, apple country. So they're nowhere near the city.
Got it.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so after moving to Georgia and finding your pickleball community out there, at what point and how did you come up with the idea of pickleball wars?
Club Wars. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry, wars
that's
pickleball.
okay. No worries. So I was, like I said, kind of traveling to play because I live out in the middle of nowhere again. I don't know why I picked these places, but I live in the middle of nowhere. Um, so I was playing out in this area in Sugar Hill. I was playing in Athens, and I actually would also drive up to South Carolina to play. There was some good play up there. So it was another hour and 15 minutes or so to play. So playing at these 3 different locations, at least once a week, probably. Athens the most, but the other 2 once a week. And I thought one day, wouldn't it be fun to get them together to play? And then like, why not make a little competition out of it? So we make this competition out of it. It was pretty simple. We had 4 teams from each place that I played at play, and we timed the games, which was pretty unique in itself, just to keep everything moving. And so they did a full round robin. Everybody played everybody. So it was a lot of games in Georgia in the middle of the summer. It
Oh,
was hot out. It was hot. and they're playing game after game after game with no breaks in between because it was like, okay, get back on the court. Um, and uh, and that's all we did was this round robin, and we just tallied up points and declared one team the winner based on points, and that was it. So 24 players. I did not play. I just took photos. I posted them on Facebook, and immediately I get contacted from somebody else. Why were we not invited? And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I think I'm onto something. And
Yeah.
so we did another one, and it just every time I posted pictures or something, more and more people would say, we want in, we want in. And we started with, just what was then considered the higher level players. It was probably now, actually, some of our players that played in that first tournament are now down to our lowest level of play because the play has just gotten
Wow.
so strong.
Wow.
So it's just been interesting to see that development as well.
So, Michelle, we love the concept of Club Wars Pickleball and everything that you do behind it. Who do you operate this organization with?
Well, I have a business partner. Her name is Kim. And yeah, she's been instrumental in helping Club Wars grow.
And how did you meet Kim, and when did you guys decide to partner up on this?
So we met way back when I first moved to Georgia, which was 2016. I met her playing pickleball, of course, and we quickly became drilling partners. And we kind of played around with some different ideas and whatnot. And we actually first started a photography business because I was a photographer in New York. And so we started a photography business, but it was not either one of our passion. And then when I did my first little Club Wars where we had the 3 teams get together to play against each other, she played in it while I was taking pictures and organizing it and whatnot. And her and her partner were the top 2 in that event. They won the event as a pair, not their club, if that makes
Okay.
sense. We kept track of their scores as well. They had the highest overall score that day. So she won that event. And I think Athens won as the team. So yeah, so that's kind of how, and once we kind of decided that the photography business wasn't for us and that we saw that Club Wars was going to go somewhere, I was like, you want to do this with me instead? And she was on board for working with me.
And how do you guys split the responsibilities? What do you do versus what she does, and how do you complement each other?
Yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge in a sense. I knew I needed help with the organization of making things run smoothly as well as the numbers. I did not want to mess with the finances or whatnot, and I knew she was good at budgeting. She was good at finding good deals, that kind of thing. So she was more of my numbers person in the beginning, but we also split a lot of the other operations, and she helped to actually organize how we do the scorecards and keep things moving along so efficiently, because this, like I said, we're like bing bang boom, on the court, off the court, and she was very instrumental in helping pull that together. And so other tasks, the menial tasks, we kind of just split up, you do these, I'll do those, kind of thing. And she does a lot of the forms for me because she's a whiz at Excel, in my opinion, and I know nothing about Excel. So I'm trying to learn it because I need to learn it, but she is very, very good at it. So she creates a lot of the forms for us as well. Yeah.
That's great. It sounds like you two make a fantastic team.
We do pretty good together. We also don't always agree, which is good, because she'll push me in some ways when I don't want to be pushed, but she'll push me in some ways and it actually works out for the better. And I think vice versa. So, when you have a partner, you don't want to always agree. You want to push each other to make it better. And she helps to push me to make things better. So.
Yeah, that is amazing. You mentioned you take pictures. You probably take really good pictures because of your background, huh?
Yeah, I was a photographer in upstate New York. So yeah, I had to do some nice pictures. I stopped taking the photos at Club Wars though, just because it's just so hard,
Yeah.
to be carrying all my equipment. And plus doing everything else, my body can't take it anymore. I'm
Yeah.
getting old.
So tell us the format of Club Wars. We kind of get
Okay.
the concept that different, groups are playing against each other, but what's the format?
Yeah. So we now have 5 lines instead of just 4, because when we had 4 lines, okay, let me do the format first. 5 lines. There's depending on your skill level, the upper levels, we require at least 2 women on a team. And then the lowest level, we require at least 3 women on a team. So the upper levels, in the upper levels when there's 2 women, they're allowed to put their women at line 4 or 5. They can
So
do 2
explain
mixed
everybody
teams.
what lines mean.
So line 1 is a doubles team, your strongest team. Line 2 is your next strongest. Line 3, line 4, line 5. So you got 5 lines of doubles teams. And then, so the upper or the strongest team is supposed to be your line 1 down to your weakest. We used to say the women could go anywhere because we know that women can be stronger than men. They can be.
Mm-hmm.
But what we were finding was people were like throwing their line 1 or 2 by putting the 2 women up there, and nobody was having fun. So now we require that they have to be at line 4 or 5 for the upper levels. So they can do 2 mixed teams, or they can do 1 women's doubles team. And that makes it so that it's more competitive typically. Again, I'm not saying that the women can't and don't deserve to be at line 1 or line 2,
Mm-hmm.
but typically, we did have a lot of women complain, and the men weren't having fun either. They want competitive games. Line in Division 3, they have 1 mixed doubles team at line 4, and then 1 women's doubles team at line 5. And again, if they have more women, they can be you can put them anywhere. So anyway, the line 1s play all the line 1s, line 2s play all the line 2s. They do a full round robin like that. Those games still are timed. We do 15-minute games or 15 points, whichever comes forward first. And then the top 6 teams advance to the playoffs. Playoffs is a single elimination, and it's seeded based on how you did in the round robin. Round robin is by points. Playoffs are now by game wins, or match wins, I should say. So if they win 3 of their lines, they move on. If they lose 3 of their lines, they're done for the day once you get to the playoffs. Finals, the final 2 teams then play 2 out of 3 games to 11. So it's more standard tournament style at that point. So you're playing a lot of games, a lot. And in the beginning, during the round robin, it's everybody gets on the court, play for 15 minutes, everybody gets off. Everybody gets right back on. There's no wait time. It's like bing, bang, boom, on, off, on, off, on, off. Typically, when we have 7 clubs or whatever, you do have 1 bye. So you do get a little bit of a rest in between, but it is fast paced, nonstop play.
It sounds like it, but it also sounds like so much fun. And you said there's 6 to 7 clubs that's hosted at one tournament. Where do you typically host the tournaments?
So there's we look for 7, a minimum. We want 7 clubs per bracket, I should say. So it's not per tournament. So your Division 1, we have 7 clubs, hopefully. Division 2, we are allowed. So we host these tournaments at a subdivision in our area in Houston. It's a little tiny town nobody's heard of. This subdivision currently has 21 dedicated pickleball courts just in their subdivision. And they are now building 12 more this year. So think about that. If you want to live in a 55 plus community and love pickleball, that's the community to move to. Right?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And so we go in there, and that's where we run our tournaments. They give us right now, because of their 21 courts, they still want some for the residents. They allow us 15 courts. So that's why we have to cap it at 7 clubs. So you don't have too many buys and you're just getting to play a lot. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that Bridgie and I really enjoy is the whole team aspect. So you
Yeah.
actually get to watch and root your team on. Now, I've played some team events where, you know, the 2 teams are playing at the same time. You don't get the opportunity to kinda cheer your teammates on. How is it in yours? Do you get to watch your teammates and you get to be there?
Well, yes and no. I mean, so during the round robin, everybody's playing. You might have catch the tail end of a game. So not so much in the round robin. Um, this happens so often where we're into the playoffs and everything, and it comes down to the final line. They're tied 2-2, 2 matches to 2, and then everybody is watching that court, and cheering on their team. So that builds a lot of excitement in that. We've had the last tournament we had like 3 of the 4 brackets where it came down to game 3 in the finals of for the tie breaking one. And that last game just kept, and oh my goodness, the crowd supporting their team and cheering for every point. And one of our games, I think, went 19-21 and a game to 15. It was
Oh my
it was
goodness.
crazy, and it was the tie. Like it was 2-2, 2 matches each, and it goes 19-21. Now that was the semifinals. So then the team that finally won goes on to the finals. But in the finals too, it usually comes down to one line,
Wow.
in game 3. So that's always fun for us to see. It's pretty exciting. And you can catch a lot of these videos. So we have a guy in our area that records a lot of these games. He's putting up cameras for us. You can go to his YouTube channel, Mike Hall. I hope I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Mike Hall
absolutely.
Pickleball, and he's got Club Wars line 1, line 2, and he's got a highlight video from the last few events. So it's pretty cool. He does
That's
that.
neat. Do you live stream them as well?
We do. We're at this point we're only able to live stream one court, so it's a
Mm.
little bit frustrating. I would love to be able to live stream like 5 courts, but right now we're unable to do that. But we're going to work on that, getting more of that, because it's the same few. We're usually live streaming line 1,
Mm.
so I'd like to get more of those lines in there. Usually line 2, I think, is our most competitive.
Oh,
It's just kind of interesting that works out that way.
yeah. I
So
wonder, yeah, that's interesting. I was wondering, like, what classifies a club? Like, can any group of players wanna, form a team and call themselves a club, or do they have to be affiliated with one court? How does that work?
yeah, I would love it if it was a legit club. I would. That's how
Yeah.
we started. We had the Athens group, we had the South Carolina group, and we had the Sugar Hill group. And they all played together on a regular basis. And a lot of teams do form that way. Like I would say the majority of our teams, they typically play together. But the way pickleball is now is people play at so many different locations, and so, what they might play at these 3 different locations, and each location has their own club represented. So who gets who, and so people are recruiting. I mean, they want to win. Let me tell you, these teams, they want to win. They are like fighting over people almost. It feels like, not really, but it just like they are looking for the best players for their team, so that because we give great prizes too. We don't just give a medal. We give a championship quarter zip shirt, like a Club
Nice.
Wars. It says
Ooh.
championship down the sleeve. I should pull one out, but don't have that with me. Sorry, but we do not sell these shirts. You have to earn it. You have to win it. um, so yeah, there is some recruiting and whatnot. It used to be, when we first started this, such and such a tournament's coming up, go to Club Wars to practice. Now it's Club Wars is coming up, practice at this tournament.
Oh
Which
my
has been
gosh.
a fun little twist to see how that's changed, because it's become so important to win. as a team.
I love that. Well, it sounds like it's very highly competitive and it's such a successful event that you put on. Is there any interest in expanding beyond the region that you're currently hosting in?
For sure. We are definitely looking for some new locations to go to. I've been in contact with Pictona. They would like to bring us down there 4 times a year, which is awesome. Um, and, I've been talking to different venues and whatnot. We do the format that we have right now. I feel like we do require 15 courts. But we can modify the format. We could go down to 3 lines to make it a little more accessible to a smaller venue. And we could easily do that. Um, and I think it would work great. I think it works just as well with 3 lines as it does with 5. So yeah, that is definitely something I want to do. Can I do some name dropping? This was so fun for us.
Yeah.
Um, so we have a venue that went up a couple of years ago, Pickle and Social, and some of the investors came and played to represent Pickle and Social. And 2 of those investors were Zane Navertil and Eltoff Merchant. So that was super cool to have them come play in our event. And then Donald Young has played numerous times, another pro player. He is opening up a venue in Peachtree City. And he's played several of our tournaments. So that's always exciting when we get the really high level players.
That's really cool.
Oh my
It
gosh,
is cool.
and
I hope I
people
don't get in
probably
trouble for saying that.
no. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of people wanna come watch that too. If you got that
Oh,
level of player, people wanna come watch.
we did that particular tournament. Oh my goodness, we had a massive crowd. And then whenever Donald Young is there too, we get a massive crowd. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, we've had a
So
few.
it sounds like it's very high level. Do you anticipate doing more lower level type of same format, but just lower
Well,
level players?
we do. We have the 3 different divisions. So
Okay.
the names I just dropped obviously play Division 1, which is our 4-5 plus skill level. Our Division 2, we just kind of expanded it because everything went to duper only, and a lot of duper is kind of inflated and changed kind of how the ratings go. So our Division 2 goes up to 499 now. It used to go up to 475. And then our Division 3 goes now up to 425, and it used to be 399. So those are our lower level ones. We used to
Okay.
even have a D4 and a D5, but they just weren't as successful. We get the higher level players, the lower level players don't seem to want to compete as much. They
Mhm.
just want to go out and play rec play, which is great. Pickleball rec play is great. I have nothing against it, but they're not into the competitive like the upper level players. So
Yeah. So for the teams who are registering, do they register through their club to represent the club, or do they just kind of go on their own? They've met at their club and they just kind of use
they
their
reach out
club
to us.
name.
Yeah, they reach out to us. Some of them will, like we had, so a venue that I play at a lot more than pickleball, they, a team, a person who's willing to step up to be a team captain went to the more than pickleball owner and said, will you sponsor us? And he gave them shirts, and they played at our,
Okay.
so a lot of teams will do something like that. Yeah, and then the Pickle and Social, they had all of their, they brought multiple divisions, and that was the actual investors, owners, they put together those teams. So it all depends, like a team captain can kind of run it how they want to run it. Some of them might do tryouts. You want to play on my team? Try out. Others will just say, nope, I want you, I want you, I want you.
And that's how
Yeah.
you get
So
the high competitive people. That's awesome.
that's right.
Well, you are a very busy woman because not only are you running Club Wars, but you're also teaching. So tell
I
everybody
do.
a little bit about the coaching that you're doing.
Yep, I coach at the same subdivision where we run our events. I do everything from private lessons to multiplayer drills. One of the most popular things that I'm doing right now, other than my private lessons, are it's called live ball drills. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Did you play tennis, either of you?
Mhm.
Very
No, no.
little.
Okay. I did not either. So I learned this drill and people love this drill. So basically, you have two people at the non volley zone, two people at the baseline. This is how I run it anyway. I'm sure it can be done differently. Two people at the non volley zone, two people at the baseline, two on the side. So there's 6 people. I serve the first ball, just feed it basically to the people at the baseline. First series of balls that I send them, they have to drive the first ball, play out the point. They get 2 tries. If they win the point, they now come to the non-volley zone, and you can stay at the non-volley zone as long as you're winning. So you're the king or the queen.
Hmm.
And we call them all queens, even the guys. We're like, oh, you're the queen now. They're all queens. And so then the people at the non-volley zone, if they lose the rally, they go to the baseline, and then they get to, you just keep rotating, and it's fast paced. I'm coaching in between. Okay, I would like it if you had done this, or that was a great shot, or you got away with that one, or that was the right decision, but poor execution, that kind of stuff. So I'm coaching the whole time that we're playing that. And so we do 3 rounds. The second round, they have to drop every ball, the first shot, and then play it out. And then the third round is anything goes, even a lob. So it's fun. And, obviously they're doing the third ball of the game. So there's no serve and no return. It's just starting from the third shot. So,
well, sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, you sound incredibly busy, and your passion for pickleball is so evident. What is next for you and Club Wars?
Looking to expand it. In all honesty, we want to go to different locations. The ultimate dream, if you want to talk about that, would be to have multiple ones across the country. You win, you get to play in the national event. That would be the ultimate dream, and then have some big prize for the national champion Club Wars team. But so that would be the ultimate dream. Right now, just looking for different venues, looking to expand, looking to grow in our area, but also other areas of the country. So if you know of a pickleball venue that wants to bring us, we'd love to talk.
Well, that's actually a perfect lead in. If you do have a listener out there that has a venue or a club that wants to play, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Well, first of all, there's Club Wars. Club Wars LLC at gmail.com is one way. We are also on Facebook. We are working very hard to get a website. So if you know any web designers too, that's another long story. And I'm also very free for people to call, text, or reach out in any other way. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So should I give my phone number?
We'll let them email you. How's that?
Okay. Club Wars LLC at gmail.com, or reach out on Facebook, Club Wars. My logo, I don't think that'll help you to see it, maybe on Club Wars on Facebook.
Nice. Well, let's do our third shot together.
Oh, okay. This is our
I know it's your second shot, but it's our third shot.
Oh,
what are you drinking, by the way?
So this is kind of my own concoction. It is raspberry vodka with razzmatazz liquor, a lime, and then I put in like a diet, what do I have this time? Grapefruit soda. And then raspberries for my ice. Raspberries is my ice. They were frozen raspberries. So
oh my gosh.
I love that. Like a little
Brigie, we got to try one of those.
Yeah, we've got to come up with a fun name.
Yeah. Well,
it's gotta be raspberry something.
Yeah. Cheers to Club Wars and the razzmatazz.
I do like this drink a lot.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been an honor.
Sounds like so much fun.
I hope you come. You're very welcome to come participate. Bring a team.
We're going to have to do that.
Yeah, we would love to.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump, right?
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. But Brigie, are we going to do tryouts? Are we handpicking? What are we going to do? What's our strategy?
Yeah, I like
You're
to
going to be our captain. You're going to be our captain. So you're going to do tryouts?
Yeah. And what's your duper?
No.
You don't have to share your duper. And you're allowed to play up too. So if you want to play B1, you're maybe
challenge myself a bit or a lot.
Her duper's on the rise. So by the time we're ready to bring our team out, oh no.
You you
You're
don't play
too
tournaments.
busy.
I have been, and I haven't been playing tournaments. So
Yeah,
my
you don't.
accuracy rating though is a 3. So we're okay.
Well, what a pleasure talking to you, and we are definitely going to try to figure something out where Bridgie and I can participate at some level with Club Wars. I think it'll be so
And
much
bring me
fun.
out there. I'm happy to come.
Okay, Vegas sounds like it's going to be a destination for Club Wars, people.
Oh, for
That would be
sure.
So
awesome.
we'll have to
Yep.
make an
Hook me up.
announcement at a future episode. We're going to bring Michelle back, and we're going to make a date announcement, and we can um we can try to recruit some clubs that want to challenge. Let's see what we
Yes,
got out there. Want to
you
make a
got
little
this.
road trip to Vegas.
I will. I'll be there in a heartbeat.
All right. Thanks again,
Thanks
Michelle.
so much. Appreciate it.
And thank you everybody for joining us at Third Shot, where Bridgie and I would continue to share our pickleball journey. A real special thanks to Michelle at Club Wars Pickleball. Reach out to her if you have a venue or you have a team that you want to participate in Club Wars. It is a blast. I've seen some of the videos. I've talked to people that have participated, and they all have fantastic things to say about the experience. So please reach out to Michelle. And, check out our social media and please subscribe. We promise to have more amazing guests like Michelle on future episodes. Let's continue to share our enjoyment for the game and grow this pickleball community together. See you next time on Third Shot Podcast.